Welcome to the Playground podcast. Today I have a fabulous guest with me. I'm so excited to get you all the tea for a very special show that's coming out very soon. Taleen Marie.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Of course, the newest cast member of Bravo's Housewives of Dubai, a singer, songwriter, fitness entrepreneur, and mama.
Yes.
Today we've got a lot to talk about.
We do.
Shall we start with the show? Get that tea out the way.
Let's rip the Band-Aid, yeah.
Let's go. Okay,
Let's
cool.
go right into it.
What can you tell us? I know it's coming out in a few weeks, so
yeah, we still don't have an air date, but we did wrap up filming a few months ago, and I mean it's a wild ride. Like, and I'm not just saying it because I'm the newest cast member, but there's a lot of ups, downs, crazy twists and turns that I think the viewers are not going to expect. I mean, we didn't even really expect it. And it is real, by the way. It is not scripted. And that was something I was very curious about going into reality TV because, you know,
everyone is. Yeah.
Yeah, there's always that conception. How much is fake? How much? This was real.
It's a real deal.
Okay. I mean, it's called Real Housewives for a reason. So, you know, when things would happen on the spot, it's like you just kind of have to navigate through it. And there's a lot of ups. The highs are high, the lows are low. Some changes in friend groups from season 1, and which, like any friend group, I think dynamics can change. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty explosive. I'm excited. Okay. Or I'm gonna join witness protection program and change my identity. I don't know which one's gonna happen.
Sound scared? Was it? Are you traumatized, and have you changed as a person after the show?
Look, I definitely learned a lot about myself because it was a life-altering thing that I did. I mean, to put your life out there, not just you, but my husband, my family, just everything. And you know, before we went into this, we said we're going to put all our cards out there. You know, we didn't want to hold back. So I think with any life-changing thing you do, even if it's a career change or you move, you do learn a lot about yourself. Was it traumatizing? At times. I mean, I remember the first day of filming, I came back to the house and I started bawling, crying. And I was like, I don't think I can do this. It was the first time I was with all the girls because I was really walking into like a lion's den. You know, I was the newbie. And my husband looked at me and he's like, you got this. Just relax.
Yeah.
We'll do this together. He was a huge support. I needed that support. When you go into reality TV, you need the support.
Husbands, this keeps coming up.
Yes.
Husbands being supportive.
Yeah, y'all better step up because, you know, we need that, you know.
Yeah.
Even if you're a strong woman, which, you know, I do believe I am, it really has nothing to do with strength or weakness. You need that support system, you know?
Okay, and did you feel like it was a mean girl kind of environment at times?
It's a good question. I don't want to say mean girl, but there were definitely moments of cattiness for sure. And, you know, think about it. If you're a senior at high school and the freshman comes in, you know, you're going to be hazed a little bit.
Yeah.
So I get it from their perspective. It was just, I needed some warming up to from some of the girls, which I ended up getting, but it was a learning curve. It took a little bit of time.
Wow, you're very brave.
Thank
I admire
you.
that.
Thank
Seriously. What do you think is a rougher hood? Parenthood or the Real Housewives of Dubai hood?
I would do Real Housewives of Dubai hood every day before I say parent. Like, parenthood is the hardest hood. Okay. That is the streets. Like,
streets.
Because nobody knows what the hell they're doing. I'll tell you that much. I mean, you can read any book, you can take any class with parenthood, but it's not a one size fits all. You know, no kid is the same. No parent is the same.
No tantrum is the same.
No tantrum is the same. No technique is the same. So, and that's another thing, you know, when I see like people put out these books of like, this is the way to do it. You know, our parents back in the day didn't have these books. Mm-mm. Like, I think I started eating solids at like 2 months. I'm like, Mom, is that safe? Like, I definitely could have choked. She's like, you're fine, you're fine. You know, we kind of had to they kind of had to learn on their own. There wasn't internet. There wasn't, you know, mom support groups and this. You had to learn it by yourself. And I think we turned out okay. I mean,
We're okay-ish.
I think. I mean, I'm in therapy, but no.
Okay.
But my point is, you know, there's no right or wrong way of doing this, and that's tough. That's challenging. That is the hood. That is the streets.
It is the street. So if Parenthood had a track, 3 songs that would be on it.
Oh, good question. Baby Shark doo doo. That's the traumatizing.
Yes.
Baby Shark. Oh my God, if I hear that one more time. Help by the Beatles. That's a very relatable song because you need a lot of help.
I mean, I've asked a lot of people this. Do you think parenting or having kids puts pressure on marriages? And have you changed, and has your marriage changed as you had kids?
Yeah, I think, of course, naturally. I mean, you have a new roommate. You know, you got this new
Living
kid,
for free.
Living for free. Not just for free, but draining the hell out of your accounts. You know, they just yell at you or cry at you. Like they're mean. You know,
They're
you got
really
this
mean. Oh my
roommate.
God. I'm so happy you've just said that. They are mean.
Of course it takes a toll. Like it's supposed to be this beautiful, incredible experience. And of course it is, but you have to navigate it with your partner. You guys were 2 people. You could do whatever the hell you want. You could go on trips when you wanted. You could go on date nights when you wanted, but you have this forever responsibility now. And it's tough. Yeah, it definitely takes a toll. You have to be on the same page for sure.
Can we
or at least reading the same book.
Guys, you don't understand. They bully us. They're mean.
They're mean. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But then so sweet.
Yeah.
And that's how they get you. You know, they're like little narcissists. Like, it's crazy.
That's how
they
abusive
gaslight
relationships.
you.
Yes.
It's like
They're
an
like,
abusive
Mommy, I love you.
Yeah. And then the next day they'll just be like, they'll take you down to Chinatown.
Take you down. Take you down. They take me down all the time.
Oh man.
So speaking of reality TV shows, if you could create a parenting themed show, what would it be like?
I think it would have to be a lot like the show Survivor, for sure.
my God.
Like, just get us all on an island, okay, with our kids, and like, let's see what happens.
See who comes out alive.
Hide the diapers, hide the wipes.
God.
You gotta find it. Hide the Gerber baby food, and you'll see some real shit go down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think, Taleen, you're one of the few people that actually brings out the pretty, done up lifestyle dinners, and then you also show when your kids are sick.
Yeah.
And you show the, you're up all night, you're kind of like dealing with breakfast and whatnot. I love that you share the good and the bad and the happy and the sad.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that. How do you maintain that kind of lifestyle with the crazy times that you also share with your daughters?
You know, I love that question because it's content in general of what people share. It's very entitled to what they want to share. And I don't want to judge anybody's Instagram or what they put out. But I do feel that, yeah, people want to put out their best versions of themselves or their best reel. And in my opinion, that can be a little bit dangerous because everybody gets on social media and the first thing they do is they compare. And as a parent, having, two little ones or just having babies, you see that and you're like, oh my God, that's not how I feel, or that's not how I look. That's not how it is. Like, what's wrong with my life? What's wrong with my parenting? So you immediately second guess yourself. So it is a slippery slope, I think, when people just share the good. But of course, they're entitled to that. And I'm not trying to make judgments on that. However, for me, I feel like I do have the glamorous part of my life, and I love to go out to dinners and I love to travel, and that is a big aspect of my life. Yeah. But I love to share everything, and everything comes with, oh my God, my kid just pissed all over me, and I'm really hungover right now, and I don't know how I'm gonna do this, and my kids are sick, and my husband's nowhere to be found, and he's not being hands-on right now, and I feel like my head's on fire. I wanna show both because that's my life. That's what it is. And I've had so many women DM me in tears being like, thank you. Thank you for showing this because I do not feel alone. And
Yeah.
motherhood, we have to come together. We have to unite. We have to be there for each other because our kids sure as hell aren't there for us. Some of our husbands can't fully be there for us because they don't fully understand. They're not fully aware. So I think by showing both the good, the bad, the ugly, it just makes us closer and more relatable. And that person is not going to feel so alone.
Yeah.
And that's important. So I have to show both. It's who I am.
I love that. And fun fact, guys, Taleen is actually one of these moms that messages randomly and checks in and says, how's life with 2 babies? So this is real, that she actually believes in it.
Yeah.
So how do you handle the meltdowns? Because I do see that you do 16-hour flights back home and
Alone.
You've dealt alone with no nanny, guys, and you've dealt with delayed flights. And how do you handle it, Taleen?
It's not easy. I'll tell you that.
You don't have a secret?
I do. You have to make it fun for the kid. I try to make little games out of things. That to me just kind of gets their mind. You have to distract, right? Kids have a very short attention span. I distract. The second my daughter, like for example, last night, my daughter, she didn't want to go brush her teeth. She didn't want to go to the bathroom. I've tried everything, please, bribery, all of that doesn't work, okay? She's now getting to the point where she's bribing me, okay? So she's so smart. So I said, how would a princess walk to the bathroom and brush her teeth? Show me how a princess does that. Show me, do you want to crawl or jump to the bathroom? Give them those options where they immediately forget, oh, I have to go brush my teeth or I have to get ready for bed. Now they're just thinking, I want to be a princess. I'm going to show mommy how to, and kids love making their parents proud, right? They love putting on a show. At least my kids do. I wonder where they get it from. So, she's like, I'm going to crawl to the bathroom. So she's lost the whole reasoning of why I want to get her in, and all she's thinking about is I'm crawling. You know what I mean? So it's like that's just an example. It's little that to me has worked for me up until now. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in 24 hours? These kids change like Jekyll and Hyde, but you have to adapt to them. But kids are smart. You also can't baby them too much. Like I don't say it in a how does a princess walk to the? I'm like, Geech, if you were a princess, like I speak to her like I'm speaking to you. Even Sienna, my 2-year-old, if you were a princess, show me how you're going to brush your teeth. And she looks at me and she's like, Let's go. Sometimes I'll do it with her. So it's finding those little things. It works. Try it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
So if parenting came with a warning label, what would it say?
Oh, proceed with caution. This is very hard.
Can we expect more kids?
Look, for me, it's a no. For my husband, he wants like a whole village and he wants a basketball team. He wants me to make boys. It's not, the gender is selected by the husband.
Yeah.
And he's just making girls. So if anyone has tips out there of how to make a boy, can we put like a hotline number down there? Like literally he is dying for that boy. But 3, like I don't want to be outnumbered. 2 is like the perfect number. 3, it's a whole other ballgame. So right now, no. We'll see what happens in a year.
Okay. So talking kids and filming and shows.
Yes.
Are we going to see the kids on the show?
Yes, they are on the show. And that was actually one of the reasons that we were hesitant to do the show because, they're 4 and 2 and in no way did I want to like exploit my kids. So at one point I was like, you know what, I'm going to do the show and not have my kids on the show. But being a mother is so a part of who I am. And it's so also in line with my fitness brand and, what I work with mothers and fitness. So I was like, I need to show that aspect of my life. My kids are made to be on TV. They loved every second of it. My daughter is literally in her classroom and she's like, I'm famous. My mom's famous. I'm like, how do you even know what fame means? Like she's a star. It's crazy. So she loved it. She was like, at one point when we were filming, she's like, Mom, forget that the cameras are there. Just ignore the cameras. I'm like she knew all the sound guys' names and she's a pro now. It's crazy. And, they would film for sometimes 8 hours in our house and they would be like, just live your life. Just don't watch TV, but like, just live. Like, and you do forget that they're there. You forget that you're mic'd, which sometimes isn't great, but because they
not for you, Taleen.
yeah, not for me. They can use any of it. But the kids loved it. I mean, my daughter did have a couple meltdowns on camera, which were a little challenging because even the princess thing didn't work. But you know,
that's life.
It's life, and people want to see it. It's the real deal.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
So, Taleen, moving away from the fame and the spotlights, and how is parenting? How are your pregnancies? How is that journey?
Yeah, that was a tough journey for me, especially with Gabriella, my first daughter. You know, before I had her, my husband and I, we had 3 miscarriages.
Wow.
Yeah, which was not easy, but again, he's just so supportive, never made me feel bad about anything. And the tough part was we went to so many doctors, there was no reason behind it. You know, I wanted a reason. I wanted the doctor to be like, oh, just take this vitamin and it'll work. No, it was just not happening. So it was tough. It was like, you know, you can't help but think like, what is wrong with me? Yeah. You know,
how far in were you having the miscarriages?
They were pretty early. Okay. I mean, I would say like the latest one was about 10 weeks, but still it's tough.
Yeah,
you know, when you see that positive sign,
yeah,
you know, sign on the pregnancy test, immediately you're like, okay, like you map it all out. You're thinking, oh my God, this is how. So I feel like even if it's early, it still takes a toll on you, emotionally, physically, hormonally, everything. So the 4th time, which was, you know, the time I finally got pregnant, of course, you know, we stopped trying. Like we were like, you just let it go, let it happen. And I think that helped, right? Because we just let go. And that's so part of it.
Yeah.
You know, we stopped controlling it, and I think our energy was different, and it worked. Got pregnant, amazing. Then had to go into an emergency C-section at like 34 weeks. And her umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck 3 times. So all I'm thinking is, oh my God, now what? Like something bad is going to happen, you know? And it was actually during Ramadan. And I remember my doctor, who's Muslim, he was fasting. And I said, you better go. You go to an iftar, and then you can cut me open. Like, I need steady hands, right? Yeah. So that's what he did. We went to iftar. I went to the house, got my stuff. I didn't even have my hospital bag ready. He came back, and we had an emergency section. Luckily, everything was fine. But I had literally the worst postpartum depression and anxiety. And that was also challenging because I'm like, I've wanted this for so long. I had 3 miscarriages. I should be so grateful. Well, like, why am I feeling this way? And then you have the guilt and the shame, and then you feel bad about that. And so it was very challenging. The first one. The second one, I think because I knew what to expect. And by the way, I was very quiet about how I was feeling because I just felt like it was a shame to feel that way.
Because it's such a blessing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we should be.
It needs to be the happiest moment. And it is, of course. But people do not realize what it comes with. You are not yourself anymore.
No.
A baby is born, and you're born as a mother. And again, I took classes, I read books, I talked to people. It doesn't matter. It's not a one size fits all. Everybody has a different journey. Everybody has a different experience. And I had to learn it in a very difficult way. And luckily, I had support and I had the right people around me, but I had to go get help for it. I got help, and I'm so not ashamed to say it.
Yeah.
And more women need to speak about it. More people need to normalize it.
Yeah.
Not be afraid of it, because that fear makes your anxiety so much worse.
Yes.
And it is not a weakness. Therapy is not a weakness. If anything, it's a strength.
Yeah.
It makes you a better mother, a better wife, a better partner, everything. Hands down, it changed my life. Yeah. And let me tell you something, having a child, it surfaces a lot of your own childhood trauma.
Oh, interesting.
And a lot of the stuff that I tried to suppress over the years surfaced. And it was like, okay, I got to face this. I can't hide from this anymore. I have a daughter to raise now.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of that was triggering for me, and I had to heal. And I have my daughter to actually thank for that, really. And it's still a process. You're still learning more about yourself. It's still a healing journey. But I have to say I'm such a better mother because I dealt with it. And it's not a bad thing. I have no shame in it, and nobody should.
And nobody should ever hide the fact that they're going through stuff.
It makes it so much worse.
Because you have so much family pressure and people telling you, oh my God, why are you not happy? And
yeah. And then again, you see people's posts on Instagram and they're like, it's like the Lion King. It's the happiest moment of my life. And of course, I don't want people to think I wasn't grateful or happy. I was, but the anxiety takes over.
It does.
And the lack of sleep, and sleep when the baby sleeps, that's hilarious. Okay, that never happened with me. No. You are literally in survival mode. And I had help. I had a nanny. And then I felt bad about that. I'm like, there's women that have no help, single mothers. What am I complaining about? And that made my anxiety even worse. But again, it's all relative. It's okay. Even if you have 10 maids around you, which you should have no shame in that.
Yeah.
It takes a village. It will make you it makes me more hands-on that I have a nanny because I'm able to focus on my children and not on cleaning my house or doing this or that.
Yeah.
Speak about it. It's okay. It is okay to not be okay. Right? It's true.
Especially in this culture, I feel like, especially in the Middle Eastern
in
culture,
the Middle East.
Therapy is not something that, and you know what, we had a guest a couple of weeks ago that told us that the pressure and what women go through after having a baby can lead to relationships and marriages breaking.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of pressure. So that was great. I love it. I love it.
Thank you. It's
truth. Really, mental health is super important. So, Taleen, I want to talk about what you've got going on. So everything from, obviously, how do you juggle the show, being a mom, you're an and an advisor for a makeup brand, and you've got your fitness kind of entrepreneurship stuff going on. How do you, and the filming, how?
Yeah. Look, it's a lot. I'm not going to lie. And there are days where I feel like I'm totally struggling and I'm not able to do everything and I feel like I'm spreading myself thin. Again, the help is so important around you. I mean, my mom, when I was filming, she came from the States and she really helped me with my kids. And I knew that they were okay, because I could focus on that. So I think a lot of it is time management and, being able to try to balance everything as much as possible and not be so hard on yourself. There were days where I was like, oh my God, I didn't put my kids to bed that night. I'm a horrible mom. I feel so guilty. But it's like, no, your children, they see what you're doing. And I want to inspire my kids to follow their dreams. I'm not just a mother. I'm not just a wife. While those things are incredible, there's so much more to me. And on the show, you'll see that I really do want to show that you can try to do it all. I'm not perfect. I don't know if I do it great, but I try the best I can, and the people around me really, really help.
And I hear you've got something else cooking.
Yes. So in the next couple months, we are launching a dating app.
Ooh.
And it's different from, all the other ones you see. I can't say much about it, but it is going to be pretty incredible. And I'm excited about it. So any single people out there, just
keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out because it's going to be spicy.
Okay, we definitely need one. I have so many single friends. Amazing single friends.
I know.
So,
and people have this thing about online dating. Like they're ashamed about it, or like they don't want to say that they met this person, but this kind of takes that out of it. So you'll see. It's very interesting.
The other day you posted something. What is the one gift that a husband can give his wife?
Yeah.
Who's a mom?
Just GTFO. Get the out. Like take your children, take our kids, because you had a small part in this, right? Take the kids, let me get back in bed, let me turn on the TV, and let me have an empty house. And that is the best gift you can give, is your time. and not just being on your phone and the kids are around you. No, physically remove them from the premises, okay? And go do an activity with them. Go do something with them. And the kids love that too.
Yeah.
And the fathers should work on that bond. It shouldn't just be, with the mom. They need that one-on-one time. So for me, space is the greatest gift that you can give, because we all need our alone time.
Yeah.
We all need it.
There's nothing like it.
Oh, there's
seriously.
nothing like it.
Especially when they're doing something and you don't feel
that's
guilty.
The best. Yeah. They're doing something. Your husband's doing something. They're good. Yes. Give them space.
Give them space.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us,
Oh my
Taleen.
God. Thank
You're amazing.
you so much for
I love
having
you,
me.
seriously.
I love you too.
Love your
Shamim.
energy. And thank you for everything you've given the parents and the moms and the dads that are watching. Dads, are you watching? Keep notes, please. And get involved.
Please get involved. My God.
And on that note, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Taleen. You're a star.
Thank you
we
so
can't
much.
we can't wait to watch the show.
Thank you.
Please like, share, subscribe, and share this with any parents. Bye, guys.